Like they always say that better late than never. We are disappointed with China's mistreatment of Nigerians, says Foreign Minister. To demand compensation, says only limited number of Nigerians can be evacuated. The federal government has described as disappointing the mistreatment of Africans, including Nigerians, in Guangzhou, saying it will not accept racial discrimination against our citizens in that country. Minister of Foreign Affairs Geoffrey Oyema declared this while responding to a question in respect of medical assistance being provided by China, especially in the context of cases of discrimination or racism that has been taking place in the Asian country. He said the Nigerian consulate in Goza has been directed to systematically detail every single case of discrimination and every single case of loss or damage suffered by any Nigerian, saying anyone that requires compensation and damages will be vigorously pursued to its logical conclusions. Uyema said, now, we have been engaging with the Chinese government at various levels at the level of our consulate in Guangzhou, which is where these cases of discrimination and racism have been taking place, and also at the federal level with our ambassador and the embassy in Beijing. So we have made it clear to the Chinese government in no uncertain terms, unequivocally, that under no circumstances we we accept racial racism or discrimination against Nigerians or indeed Africans or blacks in China, that is a red line for us. They have in turn told us that there is no case of that ongoing, but clearly, we are seeing videos. I have received reports and we've told them it's unacceptable, and we are also engaging with other African countries to decide and work together on definitive steps and measures that we will take because of this situation. In addition, I have directed the consulate in Guangzhou to systematically detail every single case of discrimination and every single case of loss or damage suffered by any Nigerian, and we will pursue each and every single very robustly with the Chinese government if it requires compensation and damages, etc. So for us, as I said, it's a red line and we are going to fight it to the very end. We are extremely disappointed because we have excellent relations with the governments and people of China that such a thing can happen at this stage. When there were calls for travel to be banned to China when they had the outbreak in Wuhan and so forth, we went along with the World Health Organization's advice not to place a ban on China, and we showed real solidarity because we've also had our own experience of epidemics with Ebola and so forth, you know. But really, we are deeply wounded by what has happened to Nigerians and other Africans in China. Of course, the government has given us explanations and so forth, but really, it is something we never expected, and we will pursue it to its final conclusion, and we will not make any compromises in doing so. There have been some comments in the public domain as if our policy that we are somehow held hostage by the fact that we have received a lot of economic cooperation from China in the past. But I can assure you that where this is concerned, we are going to pursue it to the very end, irrespective of whatever economic cooperation that we have with China. Because in the world of today, we absolutely will not and cannot tolerate and accept any form of racism or discrimination against blacks, against the Africans, and as the largest black country in the world and in Africa, it behoves on us to be at the front line of defending the dignity of blacks and Africans everywhere in the world. Reacting to a question in respect of somebody in the UK who paid £350 4 weeks ago with the hope of being evacuated from the UK, Oyema said only a limited number can be evacuated for now, according to the minister. First of all, when we made the announcement that we were trying to assess how many Nigerians were in various countries and wanted to come home, we pointed out that all communication should be with the High Commission, and at no time did the High Commission or did any directives emanate from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that Nigerians should take tests. So where the £350 for tests came from, I really don't know, but it certainly was neither from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs nor from our various embassies and high commissions. Now, of course, there are various stages that one has to go through. The first being with the process of collation of the numbers of people who want to come in front different countries, coming from different countries, because there are Nigerians all over the world. And once we began to get a sense of the numbers, the next stage is obviously in parallel to trying to see which airlines and how we could actually convey them back to Nigeria. And that has been the longest process, because of course we didn't want to have a situation where those who wanted to come back will not afford the tickets. We will explore the possibility of bringing them back free of charge. Unfortunately, the funding is not available. Resources are not available for that. So we had to negotiate with airlines and then making sure we have in place the centers where they would stay when they came back. So this has really been the process. It has not been an easy one trying to get all that together. And as I reported yesterday, we still need a little more time to have all the accommodation, hotels, and other things ready. There are some issues that we are experiencing finding hotels and so forth, but we feel that we are getting over the most difficult part, and that within 2 weeks, hopefully, we should start the process. But again, the capacity, the numbers that we can bring back at any given time is limited, and at the moment we just have the capacity to take about 200 to 250 people in Lagos at any given time, and then 200 to 250 in Abuja. But since then, there have been other developments. The United Emirates is also putting planes at the disposal of Nigerians in Dubai, and we are just looking for clearance and approval, whereas Nigerians have bought our tickets. The planes are said to be ready to convey them here, and so we are now just fine-tuning the requisite approvals, and then that might really be the first one to bring Nigerians home, even before we go out to bring them back. All of these things that the foreign minister has said, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, very, very good. And we hope they will follow it to logical conclusion, just the way he has said it. Most especially the issue of this Chinese people is unfair. And like I always say that, and people have been asking the same questions, that what the masses, the Africans are saying, does it mean the leaders, they are not hearing all of these things? They hear all of these things. But now, at least it's a confirmation now that they've been hearing that people are saying, oh, because of the help they are getting from the from China, from the Chinese government, that is why they cannot say anything. But like, it's blowing so hot now that irrespective of the economic relation or whatever or benefits they are getting from them, that will not allow them, or they will not succumb to that there are people will be mistreated like that. They will not take it. They just have to stand, because it's just that we don't want to look inwards in what we have. We have what it takes. If our leaders can cut their expenses, little that we have, we'll be able to maintain it and do well. But because majority of them are lazy, they just want quick money, quick fees, but they are the ones that will be talking down on the youth, that the youth don't want to work. But ask me, all of them, what have they brought to the table? It's just to borrow money. They don't even care. They just believe that after 4 years or after that their tenure, they will be out of it. Then anybody who is coming, or as many that will be coming, they will be the one to carry the problem. Because if really they are projecting into future, if they are patriotic, all of this money they are borrowing, because they know that even within their tenure, they will not be able to pay back. If we can sit down and tell ourselves the home truth, we have what it takes. even if it's going to be difficult. But first thing, they must cut their expenses. That is why you could see that people are always talking about, I'm not just talking about Nigeria now. We're going to be talking about other African countries, which we might not even talk in depth. The only time we're going to be talking about Africans is based on what he said, that since we are the most populous nation, black nation in the world, that we have to speak on behalf of the other African countries that are being maltreated, even in China or in other places. I think that's where we can talk about the African countries. But we talk about the way and manner at which our leaders are operating in this country, because they are just too expensive. They are living an extravagant life, so expensive. That's why you see that most of what we have is just being shared among few of them. If we can look in depth and see what we have, all of this money, borrowing money, trying to get it from people, trying to get any form of gift. That is why we'll continue to enslave ourselves. If they can think deeply, because it could be you are just opportune to be at the end of affair. What out of it, if you are those people, put yourself in those people's shoes, how would you feel? And somebody who has conscience, you don't even need to be there, even as a leader. That is why you are a leader, so that you'll be able to think for others, so that you'll be able to put yourself in their positions as well. So if they can do this, it will be okay. But at least they are responding, because the Chinese government is trying to deny it, that, oh, nothing of such happened, when videos are all over the place. How can they deny that? If there's anything they have collected from there, you better return it. Even other African countries, if there's anything you have collected from there, return it. Because with all this kind of a thing, somebody cannot just be giving you something and the person will be treating you the way they like. No, you better keep your thing and let me have my peace. That is just the way it ought to be. If you stay and work hard on ourselves, see, majority of our professionals, they are all over the world. Go talk of in every sector. Professionals, they are all over the world. They are in the world. They are all over the world. They are not even in our country. You can imagine, a lot of them don't want to stay, because the way our government have been doing and the way they have not been taking good care of their citizens. That's why you see a lot of professionals, you see them working outside the country. So if we can sit down and do the right thing, all of them will come back and we do better. Who says? It is only when you just look the other way, that is why other people will do things more than you. But if you are ready to do it, you will see scale through. It's because we believe that we cannot do it. That's why you tend to look at all those people that they are superstar or they are whatever. If we decide and we purpose within ourselves that we want to do this, we will do it. It's not rocket science. We sacrifice. It's not rocket science, but the sacrifice must come from the leaders. So guys, that is just my opinion concerning what the foreign minister has said. And someone says, Minister, your statement shocks me. The Chinese maltreat Africans, including Nigerians, in their own country. So it's the easier thing to do in China. Chinese were caught flogging a Kenyan who came late to work in Nairobi. They had he had the audacity to lock up workers in their factories in Ogun State to ensure that they kept working during the lockdown. How then do you expect them to treat Africans in China? It's unfortunate, but APC government has sold the nation to the Chinese by engaging all their blacklisted by the World Bank companies to work in every sector of the economy. Release the man of God, Archbishop Benjamin. And I don't know what this person is saying. Nigerian government wouldn't do anything because they have mortgaged their selves and conscience to China for money. It's like Esau selling his birthright to Jacob for food. So guys, let us hear your opinion concerning what the foreign minister has said. If really you think they are going to go with or go by what he has talked about, because from his tone you could see that he's really not happy. Nobody will be happy. No matter what are you gaining from there, that somebody will just be messing with your people. So guys, leave your comments below and let's have your take.